Morning guys, Ben here, 100M Man. It is a stunning Monday morning in June, as you can see. This morning I'm going to talk about denial and why it's important for athletes especially to remove themselves from that state or that cycle, so effectively to get out of the denial state. It's not something actually that I've encountered recently with my clients. It's something that I used to experience quite a lot when working in teams, football teams, and actually I would say predominantly an American based team environment. It was very, very apparent in that. Perhaps something to do with the education system, I think, and an element of culturing. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying I experienced it a little bit more when working in those environments. But it's not something that's come up recently, but I thought it was quite key. As the other day I was watching something on telly, I can't remember what it was, and I took a note of the importance it has to, if you're in it as a team player or as a team, to remove yourself from it and to deal with fact in the present. Because there is a temptation to live in a space where everything is perfect, everything is beautiful, and things will just get better, burying your head in the sand in that kind of belief structure that it is okay, when in truth, and when acting in truth and acting in self, you come to the realization that not everything is okay. Living in the denial phase is something that generally will get worse. It brings about a number of emotions that are completely unsupportive to any kind of progress, and it comes back to being able to move forward. And when I'm working with my clients, the key focus is not reflecting on the past too much, understanding the learnings that can come from it, using the information in the present moment to act in a way which is going to support a future self, which is going to complement either the individual or the team. So one of the biggest things to deal with when working in the present is getting out of the denial phase and basically being honest with self. And you would think it's quite easy and simple for us as humans, especially athletes, where the statistics actually prove progress. You would think within athletes it's honesty comes freely, and I would say it does to a certain degree, but also when training dips, when external factors have an influence over performance or progress, there can be a temptation to slip into that denial phase in the hope that the coach is going to continue to deliver, that your nutrition strategies continue to work in your best effort, and that everyone has your intentions at best. Going back to truth here, as you evolve as an athlete, as you develop as an individual, as you are continually coached, the expectations will rise, and the coaches that you're working with at the moment may not support that progress. Again, denial phase is very, very easy. You can slip into that habit of believing that because they got you to where you are, they will be able to get you that step further. The same with kit. And of course, these are external factors that you could say are not to blame when reflection comes into self, and it is self that makes the progress. But living in that denial phase, for me, is often encountered with external factors, not internal ones. Obviously, it's not true with everything, and as I've said before, the biggest growth and development starts within, but you do need the support structure on the external front in order to support the aspirations, dreams and desires of the internal. Kit, it doesn't matter how good a motorcyclist you are or an equestrian, but if your tool, your motorcycle, your horse is not up to scratch, doesn't matter how good you think you are, or the belief structure that your team is the best, ultimately there is going to be an element of letdown. So it comes back to being honest. Do you have the support structure in place to get you from where you are right now to where you want to be? Are you denying true hard fact? Are you denying what's really staring you in the face? I had an amazing breakthrough with someone the other day, and if you read, or if you've had access to my book, How to Change Your Life, I say in it, there's quite a big section on how to identify what's staring you right in the face, and that is often the case. Often, what we are looking for, the answers and solutions are right there. It's just a matter of reaching out, asking for it and taking. Same in honesty. We know the truth. We know what's actually holding us back. It's coming to the realisation that that may have to change, that there is going to be elements of the unknown. Is the risk of making that change through denial going to cause growth? What happens if it doesn't? That is one of the biggest things that I've seen hold, again, American teams predominantly back. Fear of the unknown, getting rid of a coach, getting rid of a previously very good athlete that has potentially reached the end of their shelf life, now looking to take on someone perhaps that's slightly younger, play for the seconds, bring them back, bringing them up into that place and then retiring that athlete. What happens if they don't perform and the team as a whole suffers? These are big calls to make, but what I've seen is people delay that action, delay that movement, are in denial as a result. And the longer they live in that space, live in that strategy, what happens is the team underperforms, and you hear things like, we should have made that choice sooner. Obviously they've procrastinated over it, and it is a massive responsibility for anybody that's got to make that call. Sometimes not as easy as just making that call. Obviously there's contracts and logistics and bigger fish to fry, certainly with some of the bigger teams. One man, one woman do not make the decision. So getting out of that denial state is bigger than just one person. In some occasions it takes a whole team to come to that realisation. And there was an article I wrote the other day which is available on the website 100mman.com, and it talks about the communication being effective, and the communication being ultimately the principal skill that the whole team has. It was refreshing the other day, or the other week, I was working with a team, quite an established team, brilliant. I mean, all of my clients I work with are brilliant. I choose my clients very, very carefully, those people I want to work with, and as a result, I think the progress that I managed to get out of them is very good, or I'd say advanced. An element of blowing my own trumpet there. But with that being said, this team I was working with had an open communication structure where they incorporated everyone within their team network. That was from the driver, the transport manager, all the way through to the chef, the nutritionist, the manager, the MD, the team, and of course there were separate splinter groups of communication that went on behind closed doors. Ultimately everyone was aware of the whole infrastructure, what was required, and as a result of that open communication they advanced so quickly. Decisions could be made on the spot there and then that would improve everyone involved. And the advantage of doing that, if one person is ill, one person is off, the other person, their right hand man, woman, person, can step into that role very quickly, and they actually don't lose any time or any progress. And it is a brilliant support structure. And I was a little bit blown away. Normally I go into environments, they require or they give me clear instructions of what's required. We then work to a plan, then I work with either small groups or individuals. But this, it was like working with a big family, and that was one of the things that they said during my contract stage with them, that they are very open, that it is a family, and quite rightly I needed to work within that kind of code of ethic, which was brilliant for me. There was no denial in that team. They were very beautifully operated from the root up. Their infrastructure, their foundation was incredibly solid. If you're a team at the moment and you're watching this video, or someone has shared it with you, and there is elements of denial, there is elements of lacking in communication, I would urge you to perhaps look at opening up the team to a complete, open, honest platform where there is very limited communication outside of a secret group setting. Because in doing that, again, if you're incorporating everybody, what you find is that you will have more people willing to voice an opinion. And it's certainly, in doing that, it does weed out those that aren't in alignment with the company ethic, with the team ethic, and looking to progress at the same rate. Anyway, off to the office now for training this morning. I've got a double session of upper body and then a first swim back after the Ironman. I think it's like 1.5k swim. So that's it for now. Please remember to subscribe if you like the videos. Leave a comment below. I do read and reply to all of the comments where possible. Lots happening over at the website 100mman.com, so make sure you click in the link in the description below. Head over there, sign up to the free resources. But for now, peace out, be safe.